Aiming in Overwatch 2 can be frustrating no matter who you are.
Guys, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play anymore. I don't know.
All good.
Whether you're an Overwatch 1 player or a new player, a lot of things can feel off and frustrating about your aim. This video is going to be filled with the settings, aim training warm-ups, and other tips that I've used to make the transition into Overwatch 2 a lot more smoother. Oh, but real quick, a disclaimer that although all of this worked for me, it might not have the same results for everyone. I'm simply just sharing the things that helped me go from bad to slightly less bad, as well as a few other things that have seemed to have worked for others. And with that out of the way, we're going to start with settings on PC first. These are my video settings. Now in graphics, a lot of people have recommended turning dynamic rendering off, and that it helped aiming feel more like Overwatch 1 when they did it. Personally, I had found out about the setting after I had already gotten my aim right from the aim warm-ups and another setting that I changed, so I left it alone, but it might be worth trying out if you haven't already. And these are my video quality settings. I use low for basically everything in every game I play because I'd much rather have stable FPS while I'm playing, and honestly, the game still looks beautiful to me, so nothing to really complain about. The only other graphic related setting that I would change is a bit hidden, but it's in accessibility. Reducing screen shake and turning off HUD shake literally helped me aim so much, as it lowered distractions and helped me focus on purely aiming. And it honestly is pretty tough to see a big difference right away over here in the practice range. But trust me, when you're in game, you can actually feel the difference a lot more. Overwatch is super fast paced compared to a lot of other shooters, so it helps to do whatever possible to reduce screen clutter and improve your visibility. This setting is also available on console, so make sure to turn it off there as well. If you have a next-gen console, make sure this is set to frame rate. Any other mode won't feel nearly as smooth and you won't notice much of a difference in the quality. Alright, next we're going to look at controls and hero settings. First for PC, then console afterwards. The most important thing to do on PC is to make sure aim smoothing from controller settings is set to 0. This is because apparently those controller settings are unfortunately leaking into mouse and keyboard and could be another reason why your aim feels weird. The next most important thing is to go to gameplay and make sure high precision mouse input is on. And hero sensitivity is of course preference, but I'll share mine as well. I use 3.5 cents for everyone except Genji at 800 DPI. The reason why Genji is a bit faster than everyone else is just to 180 quicker and make blades easier. For Ana and Widowmaker, the relative zoom aim sensitivity, aka just your scope sensitivity, is 37.89. This is a weird number, but it's because at 103 FOV, it gives a 1-to-1 aiming ratio between scoped and unscoped. This basically means that the sends when scoped and unscoped is the same for small movements. And for Ashe, it's 51.47. A simple way to get used to tracking with your settings is to go into practice range and keep your crosshair on the bot's head while moving side to side. If you're really struggling to do so, then maybe you should slow down or speed up your sends depending on if you're overshooting or undershooting. And next is my crosshair settings. You can actually customize your own crosshair by going here and playing around with these settings, or feel free to just copy mine if that works for you. Now, console Overwatch settings have always been such a confusing mess compared to other games. That said, the settings on screen are what I used for the longest time when I was on console and is a good not too fast and not too slow place to start. The most important setting to change right now though is aim assist window. This setting is basically how early your aim assist starts to kick in when your crosshair is near a hero. When it's maxed out, you may notice that your sends randomly get slower and faster a lot, and that your crosshair tries to drift towards people who aren't your main target. When you reduce it, you're basically making it so that you can be more precise on your targets and have aim assist work with you instead of against you. Alright, next up is aim training and warm-up. The training and warm-up can be done inside the game itself, which means you can do it both on PC and console. There are external aim trainers on PC that I have used a lot of, but honestly these in-game trainers have worked a lot better for me for Overwatch 2 specifically so far.
I literally spawned in your view.
You thought me weak up close.
Here's the first aim trainer or warm-up thing that I use to quickly get comfortable and better aiming in Overwatch 2.
I aim.
To access it, go to custom games, hit create, then go to settings and import this code, CTO4V. At the time of uploading this, the workshop still isn't fully functioning in Overwatch 2, but in the future, when workshop is ready, it should look more like it did in Overwatch 1. So what I would usually do in this mode was start with Cassidy since it's the most basic type of pointing and clicking, and warm up with that. Then after a bit, I would switch to Tracer to warm up my close range tracking, before finally switching to Widowmaker and just clicking ahead. Personally, I don't stop until I hit 100 limbs with each hero, but that's just because I'm obsessed with seeing improvement. Just remember that no matter how long you spend in this mode, you're not gonna magically become cracked overnight. Improvement takes time, and you just have to be patient and consistent to see results. I like this more than aim trainers outside of Overwatch because it literally lets you practice against in-game hitboxes, including flying heroes. Plus, the sky is literally the limit. Like, you can practice any hero or ability you want, like Hog Hooks, or Genji Blades, or Ashe Dynamites, or even being a Battle Mercy. Whatever you want to practice as, you can. The other aim training warm-up is the 1v1 arena, which is literally the perfect warm-up to do during queues if you're in a group. The code is TXCXX, and it literally just puts you in, well, literally in a 1v1 arena. This is a great way to practice mechanics against real players, and if you're queuing comp, then it's perfect because you'll be playing against those in the same skill range as you.
Cool.
Down for the count.
And the last aim training map is the one that I used to use a lot on console. Currently it is pretty bugged in Overwatch 2. But yeah, that's about all it took for me to get comfy aiming on Overwatch 2. Don't get me wrong, I'm nowhere near being good yet, but doing this every day and seeing the improvement to becoming slightly less bad every single day has felt amazing.
Was always graceful in the air.
Of course.
Comme c'est aimable de ta part.
I am gonna end this video with a bit of a hot take that a lot of you might not like hearing, but that's alright, you don't have to agree with it, it's just my personal opinion. While it is true that the game is a bit buggy and that can cause people to feel off with their aim, at the end of the day, it is a new game on a newer engine with different mechanics and changes like DPS speed boosts and other things. I feel like a lot of people got caught up in the it's the same game just a reskin as Overwatch 1 mentality and then just rushed into playing, then missing a lot because of not being used to new things and then blaming the game itself instead of trying to take the time to actively get used to it. Even some bigger streamers have gone as far as to spreading blatant misinformation about the game, saying stuff as crazy as when someone has an off game and then sees some big streamer say, there must be a bug in the aim system, they usually say, yeah, that must be it, and blaming the game itself instead of looking for self-improvement. I was lucky enough to not look at any Overwatch content at all the first few days of launch, so I didn't see any of the stuff others were saying. When I first hopped on, I played 2 quick play games and missed literally everything. Then my initial response was to just hop in the aim training maps and start improving. I don't know, I've started rambling and this might really age very poorly, and if there is a bug I really hope it does get fixed, but at the end of the day, blocking out all of the outside noise and working on improving yourself will ultimately help you out a lot more than anything else will. I hope you guys enjoyed the vid, and I do hope that at least some of the things that helped me will help you as well. If you made it this far, I love you, and hopefully we'll see you around more while I pretend to be a content creator. But yeah, see you next time.